Hi everyone. I wanted to come on today and talk specifically to the faculty and staff here in Harbor Creek. And first and foremost say I hope everyone is safe and healthy and staying apart and doing all those good things that we are supposed to be doing right now during this crisis across the world. I also just want to give a huge thank you to each and every one of you. I know this is something that you did not sign up for. I get it. We didn't sign up for it. You didn't sign up for it. Our students and families didn't sign up for this. And the idea of moving to an online distance learning program is something that's super scary and uncertain. But what I can tell you is that we are going to get through this together. And my purpose for this video today is to say thank you. But also to put your mind at ease and kind of set a timeline and tell you how, as a district, we're going to move forward. So that's what we're going to accomplish today. So I'm going to be giving a lot of dates and timelines and specific information, and you don't need to be sitting on the other side taking notes. I will follow up with an email with all this information and put it out to you either this evening or tomorrow. So don't worry about taking notes or writing anything down. So this week, everyone took part in professional development Monday through Friday. And can't thank you enough. I mean, the feedback that Buckley and Drew and all the other administrators have been sharing with me has been inspiring. So thank you so much for everyone taking part in that. That's going to be important as we move forward that you've had that training. So as I said, Monday through Friday this week, what we're in right now is professional development. And what I'm planning on doing is on Monday, March 30th, and Tuesday, March 31st. So next Monday and Tuesday, I'm going to be applying for a waiver to the state for 2 Act 80 days. So these days are going to count as student days and as teacher days. So Monday and Tuesday are Act 80 days. And what we're planning on doing on those Monday and Tuesday is that would be a time for you as teachers to kind of wrap your mind around all of this, create content, get any last minute technology questions answered through the technology office and through Drew. We would set up Google Meet open sessions all day, and you could just pop in and say, I'm having trouble with this or I'm having trouble with that, and get your questions answered, and just spend those 2 days worrying about, or not even worrying about, but creating content for the upcoming quarter. So Monday, March 30th, Tuesday, March 31st would be Act 80 days. I would let the community know that. I'll let our families know that those are 2 planning days for teachers. And our first official day would be April 1st, 2020. So that is next Wednesday. So that would be our first official day when kind of new instruction is starting to take place. But I want to put a caveat to that. Okay, so April 1st, next Wednesday, new instruction. Okay, so then April 1st, which would be next Wednesday, to April 7th. So that's next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it's the weekend, and then Monday, Tuesday. So we have 5 days, April 1st through the 7th. The district would be wrapping up the 3rd quarter. So during those 5 days, I would really encourage you to not be presenting new material and trying to get all this new stuff out, what you would normally have done, the last week of a 3rd quarter. This is really your opportunity to reach out to kids, to get stuff back, definitely some interaction and some content, but nothing too much for those 5 days, because we want to use those 5 days, April 1st through April 7th, to just wrap up the 3rd quarter. Okay, so just do that April 1st through April 7th. And then we go on Easter break. We can all take a breath. So April 8th through the 13th would be our Easter break. Normal, our calendar is staying the same. So April 8th to 13th would stay the same, would be our Easter break. And then on April 14th, when we would normally come back from Easter break and we would obviously be in school, that would be the first day of the 4th quarter. And that's kind of when everything really gears up and we start with some really serious new online instruction. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about this online learning. What's it going to look like and what are the expectations around it? I want to first say, by no means do I think, you think, the community thinks this is going to be great. This isn't anything that we asked for. The best education that our kids can get is when they're in school, they're in front of you, there's rigorous in-person teaching and learning going on. And I know that, you know that, our families know that. So let's take that off the table. We're going to do the best we can for the situation that we've been put in. So I think the first thing I want to do to put everyone's mind at ease is just some general, and when I say expectations, it's not necessarily expectations as it is just like a kind of a philosophical shift for the time being as we're put in this situation. So the first thing I want to say is that all of us, because we're all like rigor, and I understand that, but we all have to change our thinking and we have to change our mindset. We have to, for our peace of mind over the next next amount of time that we're going to be doing this. You need to change your mindset onto the idea that we're going to focus on learning and don't get caught up in the grading and assessment. Now, I'm not saying that we don't do any of it. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that we really, in this time that we're going to be in this online learning mode, we really need to focus on the learning right now and shift our minds and shift our mindsets and our thinking to learning, not get caught up in the grading and the assessment. And I think if you can do that, and I think if all of us can do that, me included, the administrators, I think if we all can do that, that kind of takes some light, or takes some of the burden, I should say, takes some of that burden off of us. We expect you to, during this online learning phase, connect with students. That's super important. So change your thinking, change your mindset, connect with students. That's important right now. Kids need to connect. They need to feel some normalcy. So I really encourage you to do that. Another important thing that you're going to need to give some grace to yourself is that you're going to have to limit the content of what you teach. You can't expect, we don't expect it from you, so please don't expect it from yourself, that you're going to be able to cover the same amount of content that you would be able to if kids were physically here. You need to manage expectations of yourself and manage expectations of your students. When in doubt, I would say you need to be super flexible with your grading and your expectations. Remember that it's about the learning, and understand that, what you're going through or what everybody's going through different things in their families right now. So you're really going to have to shift, be flexible, and manage your expectations. I think it's also important to hear right now and to understand that whether we come back in 3 weeks, a month, end of the year, or we don't come back till next year, that we all have to, as a community, as an educational community, we need to understand that there are going to be gaps to fill. And I know that, and you need to know that and accept that everyone should anticipate that there will be some gaps to fill when we eventually do come back, either this year or next. I'd like to reiterate that we need to modify expectations. You have to give yourself the benefit of the doubt and give your students the benefit of the doubt. We don't know what each student is experiencing at home and what they're going through. When kids come to school, there's level playing field, but it's very unlevel right now. The playing field is very unlevel. We don't know what's going on in all these kids' situations. We don't know necessarily what's going on in your situation. So modify your expectations. Do more than just like posting assignments. You need to really try to, as I said earlier, connect, reach out to kids, especially those kids that are struggling. Those kids way better than I do and your administrators do. The kids who are struggling. And I implore you to reach out to those kids, whether it be by email or Schoology or a Google Meet or, the good old-fashioned phone call. There's nothing better than hearing a voice. That would be something that I would really encourage you to do during this online learning experience. So I also wanted to talk a few minutes about limiting assignments. So I really want you to keep in mind as we move to this online platform that Just like I said, we're going to have to limit our content. Limiting assignments is also something that I think you all really need to consider, and I really encourage you to do that. We don't know the family situations at home. Families are, moms and dads are working at home as well, and they're trying to homeschool, trying to bring a paycheck in. So things are, like I said earlier, an unlevel playing field. So I would really encourage you, limit those assignments, take the burden off yourself, take the burden off the families, remembering that learning is the most important part, not necessarily grading and assessment. So really take stock in that. And maybe as we continue to get better and better, if this continues and we're ending up weeks and weeks doing online learning, then maybe we'll get better and at assignments, and kids will get better at turning them in. But I'd say, definitely at the beginning, limiting those assignments will be important for everyone's sanity. I did want to take a minute to talk about a pretty specific expectation regarding the online learning, and that would be office hours. I think to make this as successful as possible, offering office hours to our students where they can come in and ask questions is going to be key to its success. Offering an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon where kids can pop in and out. Our classes, as you know, are asynchronous. So it's not as if when our classes are, everyone needs to be there exactly at 8 o'clock. We're not doing traditional school. These are asynchronous classes. They can come in when they need to get their assignments and then go back out and log on, log off. But having some specific office hours that you can communicate to your students and your parents, I think is going to be key to this success. So please keep that in mind as we continue to roll this out. An hour of office hours in the morning and an hour of office hours in the afternoon, whatever works for your schedule. And keep in mind, though, those office hours, it's not as if you can't be doing other things. Kids might be popping in, they might not be popping in, but just giving that availability to students and parents, I think, will be key to its success. So as I said earlier, you didn't need to take notes. I'm going to follow up this video with an email to all of you with all this information, along with a few other tidbits that wasn't necessary to put in the video. So I will send this out with all of this information, probably either tonight or tomorrow. I'd appreciate you not sharing this video. This is internally here for our faculty and staff. And then I guess my last caveat would be this is all null and void if we come back. So, hopefully this will get under control and we will be back sooner rather than later. But I think we need to plan for later. I think we need to kind of plan for worst case scenario, although I hate to do that. I think we need to be smart about this and plan for worst case scenario. So I'm really excited. Starting next week, Wednesday, April 1st, we'll kick off this new adventure together. Give yourself grace, give your parents and students grace, manage those expectations. I wouldn't want to do this with anyone else but all of you. I, once again, can't thank you enough. Thanks for your efforts. Thanks for everything you're doing. I hope you are safe. I hope you are healthy. I hope everything continues moving down the line, continues in a positive direction. I have faith in all of you, and I have faith in this community and our school district. We're the heartbeat of the community here, Harbor Creek, and I appreciate, and that's because of you guys. I appreciate all you do. So if there's anything we can do, please reach out to me, reach out to your administrator. We are here to support you in absolutely any way we can. And once again, thanks, and we will talk soon. Go Huskies.